Hello and welcome back to some more F1 2020 and part 29 of our My Team career mode with Jordan GP Mercedes. In today's episode we have the Monaco Grand Prix, and something a little surprising for you guys is now look at this. Look at the performance ranking table. We've had a couple of updates come in, of course, and we're now apparently the second fastest team. This is crazy, and look, with the upgrades on the car, we're going to get closer to Mercedes. I've got another upgrade lined up now to take us to being by far the best team in terms of our aerodynamic potential. And it's just been such a huge push this season with Sergio Perez alongside us, getting those resource points week in, week out. It's OP. It is very much OP, but anyway. Here we go. We're going to be getting this in, so just before the Canadian Grand Prix. Look how much of an aerodynamic improvement we're going to have. And have a look at this. We're going to become the best team in Formula 1, in theory. Obviously, Mercedes, Red Bull and Ferrari will probably improve their cars before then as well. But it's just so fantastic to see that the project is going exactly how I wanted it to. By the end of this season, I wanted to be in the mix for winning races, getting regular podiums, and next season really making a strong championship push, which means Sergio Perez is under pressure to get results because we want somebody in the car that's going to help us get the Constructors' Championship next year. Do I go for a Daniel Ricciardo figure? Do I go for Max Verstappen? Do I go for Lewis Hamilton? I don't know if we'd be able to afford Lewis Hamilton by the end of the season, but you never ever know with these things. And I think maybe we do get Lewis in and have the British team like McLaren back in 2010 to 2012 and try and really battle for that championship with Lewis. Whether he'd come to us or not, I'm not entirely sure. I think we'd probably need some Spec 3 facilities, but we'll see. Long way to go before that. Today we've got the Monaco Grand Prix, so let's see how we get on in that all-important qualifying session. Well, Latifi sort of impeded our final couple of corners there, but we come up to the line. It's a 1:11 flat. I think we can do a lot better than that. We did a 1:10.9 in FP3, so yeah, definitely can do better than that, but it should be enough to see us safely through to Q2. Well, as you can see, easily through in Q1 then. Sergio Perez through in 5th as well, so it's looking like a really positive weekend for us. Going out in Q1, it's Schumacher, Russell, Magnussen, Giovinazzi, Grosjean and Nicholas Latifi. Well, coming up to the line in Q2 then, what's it going to be? It's a 1:10.9, which is currently the fastest lap of the session. Quicker than both Ferraris, again, should be enough to get through to Q3, nice and easily. Well, there you go, nice and easily through once again in 7th position. Sergio Perez through to Q3 as well. Quite a few runners going through on the medium tyre. And Daniel Ricciardo, a surprise fastest person in Q2, but it's all down to the pole position shootout then. Going out in Q2, Norris, Sainz, Raikkonen, Stroll, Gasly and Esteban Ocon. Well, our first genuine run at pole position comes up to the line. What's it going to be? It's a 1:10.6. That's a really impressive lap. And that is currently pole position. Bottas only goes 2nd, so we'll see how well that holds up. I don't think there's much more time in that, if I'm brutally honest. But we will try our best, and we'll see exactly where we end up. But I'm very impressed with that lap. Well, this has been completely the perfect lap, and we come up to the line. And it's a 1:97.
Fantastic. You've got...
Wow. What a lap that was. And we've got pole position for the Monaco Grand Prix. I mean, I cannot believe that. I could not have bettered that lap. That was unbelievable.
Remind ourselves of our top three: the captain, Hamilton, and Valtteri Bottas. Goodbye for now then, but we're really just getting started. Make sure to join us again for Lights Out tomorrow.
I mean, that pace has just not been there all weekend, but right at the end there, I mean, we didn't lock up once. We hit every single apex, and that, I suppose, shows the true potential of this car if I wring everything out of it. And, you know, I don't think the likes of Hamilton and Bottas have got the most out of their cars, but we're starting tomorrow's race from the front of the grid, pole position. I can't believe it.
A proper road race, and in the true meaning of the word. That was how Mr. Monaco, the late great Graham Hill, once described this iconic event. The cars we drive have come a long way in the intervening half-century, but still we race on those same public roads beside the Mediterranean Sea. There's no victory more coveted than that of the Monaco Grand Prix. We're on the French Riviera once more this weekend at the 2-mile-long Circuit de Monaco. The cars climb around 40 metres up through Beau Rivage, onto the casino, and then descending down towards the harbour through Sector 2. It's a very short run from pole position to the first of the 19 corners here, 7 to the left and 11 to the right. There's one single DRS zone as well, so don't expect that to make overtaking any easier today. Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. The captain lines up on pole position, and it's Lewis Hamilton alongside. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Bottas, Ricciardo, Alexander Albon, and Verstappen, Vettel, Perez, Leclerc, and Daniel Kvyat, Ocon, Gasly, Lance Stroll, and Raikkonen, Sainz, Norris, Mick Schumacher, and George Russell. Giovinazzi, Grosjean, Latifi, and Kevin Magnussen fills the last spot on the grid. Which of these talented drivers will come out on top today?
I mean, wow, I still haven't recovered from taking pole position. I am bemused at how we've managed to do that, and it's certainly a once-in-a-lifetime thing. I'll never, ever produce a lap like that around Monaco again, and yeah, it's just a shame I wasn't recording for the whole lap, but wow. It's going to be important to get through turn 1 today, of course, unscathed. You know, if there's ever a chance where we can hold on to a win, it would be here.
Aim for another top 10 finish.
So, soft tyres onto the mediums around lap 6. I think we just go for the normal strategy today, because it's going to be incredibly tough. But here we go. Off the grid we go.
Okay, our system checks are good. We need to stay in formation and start bringing the car up to temperature, please. Get some load into the tyres and work the brakes. We want them nice and warm by the end of the lap.
Now, Valtteri Bottas is going to be our main competitor today, you would imagine, because he is on medium tyres. So we need to try and make sure that we're ahead of him by a good amount going into the pit stops, because he's going to go longer, of course, and that's going to be an interesting strategy. Mercedes have probably got more pace lap to lap than us, but if we can get off to a good start, and if Lewis Hamilton and Bottas are fighting for position, Ricciardo qualified 4th. I mean, this just shows how variable Monaco is. That Renault has no real right of being up in 4th, but Ricciardo, one of the best drivers on the grid, has pulled out an amazing lap, and that's exactly what we've done. You know, it's going to be incredibly tough for us to win this Grand Prix, but as I've said, you know, Monaco, very tough to overtake. I don't think we will get a better chance, certainly not in the next few races, to do this. But here we go, reforming the grid. We nearly lost our tyre there. This is going to be an intense Grand Prix. But here we come, up to the line. We know exactly what we have to do. We've angled our car.
The rest of the grid is forming up. Be patient and watch for the lights.
Perfectly to fend off Lewis Hamilton. So here we go, ready for our first pole position. Let's not get a nosebleed. Oh, I'm so nervous. Well, here we go. 20 laps of the Monaco Grand Prix are about to get underway. Lights out, away we go here in Monaco. A lot of wheel spin off the start, and Lewis Hamilton manages to jump us into the first turn. That's such a shame, because, you know, we wanted to get ahead out of turn one, but Hamilton is the one in front. But now we just have to focus on trying to stay with Hamilton and potentially thinking about an undercut later on in the Grand Prix. But we're safely through the first few corners at the very least, and we're not into the massive melee at that corner there. Slowest corner in Formula 1, of course. No sort of safety car yet.
Let's try and move forward.
But yeah, what a shame. What a shame that we couldn't hold the lead into turn one. I'm not sure we're going to get another chance at that. Well, you join me on lap 6 of this Grand Prix. We're coming into the pits on this lap. Just really struggling with tyre temperatures. Look at that front left. That is where we're having our problems. We're, you know, a decent gap to Bottas behind, but we are just really struggling to get through the corners at the moment. But here we come into the pit lane, and well, Hamilton's in. We've held him up a little bit. The Renault's coming through as well, so Ricciardo's in the pit lane. Perez moves up to 3rd in this Grand Prix. Need a quick pit stop. Oh, they're changing me front wing. No.
Go now.
No, we're coming back. Right. Quick. No, wrong one. I do not need a front wing change, thank you very much. Ah, it's on auto. For goodness sake. Why does this always happen? We don't need a front wing change, and now we're behind Blum and Albon.
That was our
and that's just ruined our race.
scheduled pit stops.
What a disaster.
Seconds.
Well, we finally have some clear air. Lap 9 of this Grand Prix, and well, it's just disappointing really. Didn't need the front wing changing, but just like in Australia, Season 1, it's cost us a hell of a load of positions. We are back up to 5th place, but yeah, well behind Daniel Ricciardo. And I'm not sure we're going to be able to catch up. Well, that's a nice little surprise. Fastest lap of the race. And we'll settle for that, and we're certainly pulling away from Sergio. We took 8 tenths out of Ricciardo on that last lap. Who knows?
Lap of the race so far.
Well, another fastest lap, and it's a 1:12.5. It'll be interesting to see whether that gets beaten. I think it probably will be by Bottas at some point whenever he comes into the pits, but we are closing in on Daniel Ricciardo here. And another fastest lap, and there's Verstappen.
Fastest lap of the race.
And we're through. We're through on Max Verstappen, so back up to 4th now. Ricciardo pushing hard on Bottas, so I can only imagine that Bottas and Verstappen lost their tyres at some point, because how on earth has Ricciardo managed to catch up with Bottas? But Lewis Hamilton is still going to win this Grand Prix.
This is your final lap of the race.
Well, final lap of the race, we've managed to hold 4th position, couldn't quite get within a good range to overtake Daniel Ricciardo up ahead, but well, I think we'll take 4th place, considering we had the
+1 lap of extra fuel target +1.
We had the awful wing change in the pit stops. I mean, goodness knows where we could have finished had it not been for that silly wing change. We would have finished 2nd. I'm pretty certain of that. Probably with the fastest lap as well, and that is such a shame. But you know, we've acquitted ourselves well this weekend. We got pole position, first pole position for Jordan, and you know, I think we can be really, really pleased with that. And you know, we've raced well, we've kept our discipline despite, you know, being wronged in the pit stop. But Lewis Hamilton has come through to win yet another Grand Prix. Bottas finishes 2nd. Ricciardo finishes an excellent 3rd for Renault. And we finish 4th in the end, which I'll take, and it's another 12 points.
So Mercedes have won it, and what a great race it was. Talk to me, Ant. What was it that set them apart from the competition today?
Well, time management probably played quite a large role in the outcome of this one. As ever, it's not just about speed, it's all about maintaining that speed consistently over a stint, over a race distance. So being able to keep up the lap times while still being smooth on the controls and gentle on the tyres, that's really where the race was won today.
After an excellent performance at the Grand Prix, I'm sure there'll be plenty of celebrations tonight amongst the Mercedes team, and they certainly deserve it. So then, it's time to see how this result affects the Drivers' Championship. It's a great result for Lewis Hamilton, who moves further ahead at the top of the table. After an incredible day of racing, who was your driver of the day, Ant?
Difficult call, but I'd like to say Esteban Ocon. He's just so gifted at getting the most out of his tyres, and he showed that today. I know that's at odds with the official decision, but I think they deserve some recognition on a day where both of these drivers are at the top of their game.
It's time to check out the constructors' standings. Mercedes continue to extend their lead. Well, Ant, an end to another fantastic weekend of racing. Thanks to everyone who joined us, and we'll see you for the next one.
Well, there you have it then, 4th and 6th for the Jordan team. I think we'd have took that at the start of the weekend, just disappointing when we took pole position. And, you know, on the day we were set the second fastest guy out there, other than Bottas. So, you know, we set faster times than Lewis Hamilton. We could have genuinely won this Grand Prix had we got into turn 1 first. But that's the way it goes, and, you know, hopefully you guys have enjoyed it. Regardless, make sure you leave a big thumbs up down below if you did. It's going to be a really good run of races. I did say it to you, I think we are going to win our first Grand Prix in these next few races. So make sure you subscribe for daily F1 2020 content. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.